Okay, everybody, we've got another site to show you this week. The idea is that we're going to open 30 sites in the next 3 years. So that's 10 a year. So we need to be opening a site every single month. We're nearly at exclusivity on this one. There's just a little bits of crossing the I's, no, crossing the T's and dotting the I's that we need to sort out. So I've put exclamation mark or explanation mark, question mark. So ultimately, nobody can come in and pinch this site from me. Right. So let's share this. Like I say, it's an outdoor site. It's not a massive site, and we're really gonna have to squeeze every square foot we possibly can do to make it worthwhile. Now, when we go to these capital expenses costs, these costs won't be the same as your cost. Well, it depends. We're going for the elite premium brand in the UK for outdoor storage. So we're spending a little bit more money than we need to. For example, groundswork. You could put the containers on the base now and it'd be absolutely fine. But again, we just want to spend that extra little bit of money to make sure that it looks and feels premium. So, for example, tarmac. And we're not going to tarmac the whole thing. It's just where we go up to the caravans. I've been in the caravan, and the caravan's parked outside my house right now. And so I've got caravan on the brain. Right, so we'll go through all these, and then we'll go through the return on investment, cash and cash return, and it is some healthy stuff like you'd expect from a self-storage site. So we'll go through all this. Hopefully, this video won't be as long as the last one. We'll keep it less than 10 minutes. Right. If we open November 2026, that is where we're hoping to open this site. I keep saying, like I said, have I said it's outdoor? I think I've said it's outdoor. On this location, we're only getting 6 months rent free. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And by the way, as ever, if you want this spreadsheet, just hit me up, deanbooty@icloud.com, and say, Dean, give us your spreadsheet, and we'll send you it over whether you're in the program or not. If you're in the program, you already know. You've got a spreadsheet already. But if you want it, just send it over and we will give you it. Right, these are the maximum square foot we can have. So 134 containers. We've got 80 large, 88 large, 14 medium, and 32 small. Again, that's not set in stone because I always teach that ultimately we'd let the market, I've said ultimately again, what we do is let the market dictate what we do. So if a market says we need more small, then we'll add more small. If a market says we need more large, then we'll add more large. The worst thing you can do is buy all the units from day one, expecting this is going to be your split because you don't know what the market's going to do. So why don't we just let the market dictate to us what we're going to do? As you can see here in November, we're adding 16 small, 10 medium, and 10 and 20 large. That's the split there. And then we'll go from there. We'll add more large when we need to. We'll add more medium and more small if and when we need to. But for the purposes of these projections, this is what we're doing here. This is the amount. This is a weekly rate here, 25, 36, 40. That's what we predict the area will get. And on these spreadsheets, by the way, I normally do best case, worst case, and medium case. Now, for me, this is the worst case. We want to go with the worst case. For goodness gracious, never ever leave yourself short because this will be, it'll tell you and dictate to you how much cash you need to open. So if you go for best case and you don't hit it, then the worst thing you can move this. I feel like I'm talking to you guys. There we go. It was a screen. Now you can see it because we're sharing screens. Yeah, we don't want to be in a position where we're like, oh my goodness, we haven't hit the target, so therefore we're short of money. We need more money. And I'm speaking from experience because I have done that previously, right? So that's the amount of lettable square foot we'll have. These are the finance costs for containers because we are still financing these. So again, if I was starting up from scratch, I would do this a little bit differently. I wouldn't buy 16, 10, and 20 because that is a heck of a lot of containers. What is it? 46 containers to start with. I wouldn't buy that straight away because as soon as you buy them, you're paying finance on it and it's monthly cost going out. So I would maybe start with 4, 2, and 2. And then when I need more containers, I would buy more containers. The reason why we do it like this is, one, we don't want to mess around with the ordering and go. At the minute, we have got the cash flow to do this, so we're not cash flow restrained on this sort of area. But we don't like an empty site either. So when we first open, we want it to look like it's a self-storage facility, look like there's some movement. But when you're starting up, you don't have that luxury, or certainly I didn't when I started up. I had to go 1 container, 2 containers. I couldn't even afford 2 containers at a time. I had to go 1 container. So we built up to this point. And even if we did have the money now, I wouldn't buy more than this because I want the market to tell us and dictate to us what unit sizes we should be adding. Right, so that's that. That's the monthly cost, as you can see, for these different units. And you can see that in here later on. Right, insurance. £7.50 a week. That is what the minimum we're going to charge. Again, this is worst case scenario, so we're expecting to earn more per unit than that because that's the minimum we're charging. We're hopefully going to be charging £10.50 for that's £12,000 worth of insurance. But again, we set it very low to make sure we beat that target. Right, the monthly costs. £200 insurance, £200 software, business rates, £2,000. Again, I want to highlight this. This is a little tactic that we use, but when it says business rates here, business rates. There we go. £2,000 per month. Yeah, £2,000 a month. We won't be anticipating paying that straight away in the first year. But again, worst case scenario, we're planning for that. So what we do is we obviously get the planning, etc., but we don't tell the council and say, hey, Mr. Councillor, we want to be paying our business rates when we open. No, we wait for them to come to us. And then when they come to us, it's normally a year or 2 years down the line. And then what we'll say is they'll say, look, you owe us £24,000 for the purposes of this. And we'll say, oh my goodness, sorry, I didn't realise. Councillors, if you're watching, I am so sorry. It's not me, it's my team who do it. Oh my God, we're so sorry. We can't pay all this at once. And sometimes, by the way, it's the truth. And so what they'll say is, right, no problem. How long do you want to pay this over? And then we have a deal. I think we've done over 2 years in the past and over 3 years, and it's interest free as well. And so it just protects that cash. So you can almost wipe that off in the first year because we've never ever paid rates in the first year. We've always paid it after the first year because the council are slow to get to you and say, look, you've opened. Do you know what? I thought Glasgow would get away with it, but they've come to us and said, yeah, you've got to pay £6,000 a year, which is, £600 a month, which is 7,200-ish that we're paying every single year. So again, we've done worst case scenario, £2,000. There is no way it's going to be £2,000 a month, 24 grand. I don't suspect so. But really what we've done is we've gone half of the rates, the actual rent. So just making sure that I've got this number right. Public maths, I can't do it. I'm nervous. 4106 should be 50 times by 12 unless we've got a better deal. 49,272, so nearly. Again, we don't fully know if this is a deal. This is what they want, and so we don't know if we can get any better at the minute than what they're asking. Because they're doing a little bit of work on the ground for us to make sure that we do save some capital expenses. So we might have to be paying £50,000 a year. Utilities, £200. Nowhere going to be more than that. Wages, zero. It's a manless site. Health and safety, we just put that in there because there is going to be some sort of health and safety cost. We've got a health and safety company now. And so it's I don't think it's £200, but it is there just in case. £1,200 marketing. There's no way we're going to spend £1,200 on this site because it's a great location. It's on the side of a main road. The one problem with this site is, yes, the frontage is on the side of it, is on the main road, but to get into the site, you've got to go round, and it's not as easy. Well, it's certainly not as easy as turning into the main road. You just got to go around almost like the back side of it. And so that is the only problem with this site. So £1,200 a month in marketing, we won't spend that. We might do in the first 6 months, but we won't be spending that after that. Look at our Newcastle site, Beverley site, we don't spend a penny. So I would suspect this is somewhat the same because the position of the site will do the hard work for us. £200 accountancy fees, cleaning, no way is it £350. Again, we've gone over that. Other costs, I don't know, we always put in, a 5%, 10% charge there, and so we come to 4,750. So we know worst case scenario that is going to be 2,750, but certainly in the first year you can get rid of that. That'll be probably halved, and so you can see the savings straight away. Just got an alarm going off. Right, capital expenses. There's operational cost invested. That's in case you've got to pull something down, move something, etc. There's nothing of that. £25,000 groundworks. Again, you don't need to spend that for this site, but we've chosen to. £3,000 for the gate. The gate is in situ. We don't know how much it's going to cost to. It's a sliding gate. Everything's there. But we've just put £3,000 just in case we need to pay anything. £5,000 for planning. It might well be. We don't know. Solicitors' fees. Our solicitors' fees have just gone up recently, so it's £7,000. We know we can get it cheaper, but it's an internal discussion. Do we stick with the same solicitors who we've got a great relationship with, or probably seen these YouTube videos and thought, hang about a minute, we need to charge him a little bit more. So do we go somewhere else? But for now, we're putting £7,000 signage. No way is it going to be £7,000. But again, worst case scenario, CCTV, £6,000, lights 4, access system 5, and other, we just put 10% extra on there. Well, it's actually more than 10% he's put there. But yeah, just to make sure that worst case scenario, we've got ourselves covered. All right, so let's go down to the monthly report, occupied units. So this is where we input what we're gonna basically sell. There is a video as well. If you are confused about this spreadsheet, Gary, my COO, does a 27-minute video, I think it is, talking you through exactly how to fill all this in, and it'll make sense. Is basically he fills these in, I look at them and say yes or no, and so he'll be able to tell you how to populate things a lot better than I can. But long story short, this is how many units we're going to sell in the first month. So it's only 5, so we're not going massively out there. 3, so less than 1 a week in December, less than 1 a week in January. We'll smash these figures. 5 in February, and the highest we ever do is 6. So 6 containers a month. So less than 1.5 a month. These figures are based upon. Is there here? Yep, it's still 5. Yep. So as you can see, 5 containers a month, 6 containers a month. If we can't do that, there's something wrong. So again, this is based on worst case scenario for our cash flows. Right, let's have a look at our monthly summary. Just to double check things. Here's the asset finance. There's some confusion when people watch my videos and they're saying, you haven't put in the price of the containers. No, the containers are asset finance. So the finance, it's not an upfront cost. It's a monthly cost. Unfortunately, we're not in a position where we can just shell out hundreds of thousands of pounds on containers. So we do asset finance, excuse me, and they're paid over a number of years. As you can see, year 10. I thought they'd be paid off there, but I might have to just double check with Gary that, see if it should be paid off. I know, that's... Forget it. That's the revenue, not the cost. There's the cost there. Right. Yes, there we go. Right. So that's the revenue. Sorry, my friend. Sorry. That's the revenue for each size unit. It's a bit confusing, a bit complicated. But as you can see here, here's the costs for the containers: small units, medium units, large units. So this is the money that we'll have to spend. Obviously, in November there is none, and we start paying in December. And then as we go on, you can see the costs have gone because we are no longer paying for these containers because they're paid off. Right, so let's have a look. So small units, large units, the weekly insurance, as you can see, insurance earnings keeps going up, and the total revenue. So this line here is the revenue we're getting, and then the cost. So we've got the rental cost for the units and the insurance costs. Then we've got the rental cost for the mortgage or the lease, and then we've got all the monthly costs that you've filled in here. Then populate the spreadsheet over here. And then we've got the profit, the cumulative profit as well, because it's interesting to see the cumulative profit. So, and then we've got the cash flow. So the negative cash flow, you'll see here that we lose money for the first 18 months at this site, but very, very little at times. And so it's £52,000 we're losing here. Again, worst case scenario, because I want to stipulate and just highlight the fact that this is including 24 grand business rates. Don't get me wrong, you'll have to pay for it eventually. You never get business rates free, but it's deferring the cost. And if we can defer the costs as much as we possibly can do, it's a win for us because money is limited. So £52,000, and then we've also got another £3,800 there as well. So it's around about £56,500 on top of the 69. So we're talking, did I say 56? £56,000 plus, not times, whoa, 69,700. It's 125,000 to get this place opened and to get past a period of negative cash flow. Why is it negative cash flow? Because when you first open, you've got the expenses, but so the expenses are here and you've got zero revenue. So the revenue starts to go up all the time. So it'll cost us 125,000. When we first opened, it was beg, steal, or borrow. Apart from the stealing like, it was beg or borrow, friends, fool, and family, anything we could do to raise the money, or the banks. The banks lent us some money at times as well. And again, just let me highlight, we don't need to spend business rates, marketing. We don't need 25 grand on grounds work if you don't need it. Signage, £7,000. This is because we're going to the next level. The CCTV you can get cheaper, the lights you can get cheaper. The access system, we really love the access system, but you don't have to go to Nokia or PTI. There's other ones. If we're tight and very on the ball with our costs, there'll be none of that. So I'm saying 125,000, was it? 125,700. That is the worst case scenario. And that's only if we sell one self-storage unit a week, sometimes less. Again, don't forget in the projections here, which we'll do much better than. So this is the very, very worst case scenario. In 18 months, we'll spend 125,000. Then we start making money, as you can see, and in the end, in year 10, we start making close to 50 grand a month. So we're nearly getting our money back in 1 month. When do we get cash flow positive? Cash flow. Oh, it tells you 120. Yeah, it's all. I don't know why that all bit confuses me because it's the money, capital expenses plus the negative cash flow, and it's already done it here. 125,500, 126. Yeah, so 126,000. So we weren't too far wrong when we did the maths ourselves. So yeah, as you can see, 126,000, and then it starts going down. And what month is it? At month 40, all our money's out, and we paid for the capital expenses, etc. We've got our money back because we've earned it back. And that's month 40, and everything after that is profit. So let's have a look at the year-on-year returns. So we lose money in the first year, which, by the way, is quite normal in self-storage. But again, I'm not so certain we will do because we're only doing 6 units a week on this site. It could be, a month. It could be comfortably more, given our South Shield sites. It's a Wednesday now, and we've already projected to do 4 containers this month, and we've already done 4 this week. So again, I just want to highlight this is worst case scenario because I don't want to be caught with my pants down my ankles again like I did when I opened Willoughby 10 years ago. It was a nightmare, and it was all my mistakes, by the way. And I didn't do my cash flows properly. I didn't do my projections properly, and I never want to be in that position again. I've got PTSD with it. I am mentally scarred, and I don't want to be in that position again. All right, so as you can see here, 52,000, £7,000 profit, third year, then we get rolling. Always a third year. I always say self-storage is never going to get you rich quick. You're not going to get a Ferrari in 6 months, but it will always generate wealth long term. 78,000 year 3, 148, 220, 300, 370, 440, as you can see. And then if you want to sell it, it's 3 to 5 times multiple. Really, really exciting profit. Year 7, we always want to be hitting the £1 million mark around about year 6 or year 7. This is cumulative profit. The return on investment, 1,000%, 46%. It blows houses out of the market. Cash on cash return, 159,000. Basically, we've put in 126,000, haven't we? So here, 126,000. And you can see there is 160% is 129. I think that's right. It should be right. Anyway, if it's not, let me know. Again, public maths. The wife's ringing me. Wifey, I'll ring you back. I'm in the middle of a video. There we go. That's how we get rid. She's been ringing me all the time when I've been on the phone. My son's just doctors. Nothing to worry about, but he's at doctors, and so she's ringing me to tell me. So I'm going to have to go in a second. Now I actually feel really bad for... I'm going, why did I even answer it? I don't know. It's just like flashing in front of my eyes. Right. And also I was in my calculator a lot, wasn't I? Right. Oh, God, now I feel bad. Not I'm scared of her. I'm the boss of my house. If you know me, you clearly know that I'm not. Right. 905%. Yeah. And onwards and upwards, as you can tell. And it gets better and better and better. And this is worst case. All right, my friends, I'm going to have to shoot because this is, yeah, there's nothing more I can talk about. But I can't wait to get this under, well, exclusivity, get it under agreement for lease, and I'll shout it from the rooftops. And hopefully, we can open this year. Again, I just want to show you these. It keeps me accountable, and I want to show you how aggressive we are trying to move forward. All right, my friends, I love you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.